In this episode of Dirt Cheap Daily, I mount new tires on my painted rims and show you a couple tips for mounting tires yourself. I was lucky enough to have a few hot sunny days to allow the paint on my rims to cure before mounting my tires. I start by putting a rim on the tire mounting machine. You don't need the machine, but it puts it at a good working height and does a good job of securing it in place. In the past, I've done this on just a pallet and it worked pretty well. Grab your tire, grab your lube, and lube up the bead of the tire. Throw the tire on the rim. My rim was a little insecure, so I threw this on to help it stay fixed. Then you work your way around the bead. Depending on the tire you're mounting, you might have to put a lot of weight into it to get it to seat up. Getting the second bead on can be a bit of a trick. Again, depending on the tire, this might be pretty difficult. Other tires I've mounted in the past have had no issues mounting them by hand. I was really trying to mount these without using the tire iron because I was worried about the new paint on the rims. I tried lubing it up, putting my whole weight on it, and trying from all different angles. With whatever tire you're mounting, you want to make sure you're pushing down on the opposite side from the unseated bead. There's a low spot on the barrel of the rim that will allow you to get the bead wrapped around the rim. If you don't use it, you'll either have a really hard time getting the tire on, or you'll end up damaging the rim or tire. I finally realized I needed the iron. Depending on how much you like your rims, slide the iron in gently and pull it up, working your way on either side of the exposed bead until it's fully seated. Sometimes the bead will slide out from the other side as you're trying this. You can either have someone help you by pushing down on the opposite side, or if you're alone, you can use vise grips on the rim to block the bead from unwrapping. Remember that this takes practice, and you won't necessarily get it on your first try. I'm going to show you one more where I had a little harder time getting it seated. So on this tire, I couldn't get the first bead to mount. I tried and tried, but I ended up just pulling it off and restarting. After restarting, it went just fine. So remember, if you're having a hard time, try pulling it off and putting it on at a different angle. Remember to not get frustrated. If you're getting frustrated, take a break and come back to it later. After spending so much time trying to mount that second bead by hand on the last tire, I decided to go straight for the tire iron. Being careful, I was able to get it on pretty easily, without too many hiccups. Check out my other video where I use airsoft BBs to balance tires. If that's the route you're taking, now is the time to put the BBs in. Once you have your rims wrapped, pull out your air compressor, tip your tires onto the tread, and fill your tires until both beads seat. You can hear when these seat. Once you get the beads to seat, put in your valve stem core and air up the tire to the proper pressure. Keep your fingers and anything else away from the bead as you air up, and don't overinflate your tires. If you're having trouble seating the beads with just air, you can check out my video where I use fire to seat the beads. My compressor is tiny and almost died trying to air up all my tires in one go, so I had to give it a rest before I could get enough pressure in this tire to seat both beads. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode on Monday. Be sure to check out my Instagram giveaway. And in the meantime, check out my other videos.